Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris from PR GameFit, and I'm back again to talk about another game that I've been playing. I want to do a review. I haven't done a review in a while. There really hasn't been anything too crazy I've been playing. No like big hype games or anything since No Man's Sky. That pretty much let me down quite a bit. So I've been kind of sticking to the smaller PlayStation Network releases, the games that are like $15 to $20. I actually kind of like that better because you don't feel like you're putting as much out there. Um, and so if you get let down, it's like, okay. I mean, No Man's Sky was a big letdown, but let's move on. So the game I've been playing recently is called Verdun, and it is a first-person World War I shooter that is heavily based on trench warfare. You can see the tutorial on the screen now, and that's kind of what it's like. Is you basically push trench to trench. There's a few different classes: the bomber, gunner, rifleman, and corporal. I feel like there's a little bit more depending on what squad you're in, because like when you're actually in a game, you can kind of play, like you can play as, depending on what squad you get put in, and you can change squads if there is an open slot. But like sometimes you'll be like different kinds of French soldiers, or you can be, there's a couple maps with the Americans, and then there's a lot with like the Germans and the Ottoman Empire and stuff like that. But it's really cool. So like the French and the Americans are different. They use different guns. A lot of the gameplay, a lot of the weapons you'll be using for the most part are rifles, like bolt action rifles and pistols. And so like that's what makes it really cool. You can see I'm kind of going through one of the different rifleman classes right now, and I'm under one of the French squads. So like it's really cool, and like I said, like the different squads will have different classes that you can pick from, and they have like 3 different tiers, so like 3 different options you can choose from. Sometimes you get stuck in like in a squad that you don't, or you get stuck in a role that you don't really like. But just keep in mind that at any point you can hit start, go to the scoreboard, and if there's an open slot anywhere on either team even, you can switch it out. But what happens mostly, and you can see on the screen right now, like, so my team is supposed to be attacking. So what happens is there's 2 trench lines, and then there's the space in the middle, and what happens is one team will be attacking, and they'll basically try to get a foothold in the opposite trench. And if they get a foothold, you can keep battling, and it's kind of like a domination situation, where like the more players you get into the capture point, then you can capture their trench, and then you push forward, and then they try and push you back. But it's like if you don't get a foothold and you don't capture their line, they'll basically be queued to counter attack, and then they'll rush over to your side. And the thing that kind of makes it cool is like there's kind of rules. So like when you're defending, like I am now, you can see the mini map down in the left hand corner. I can't go outside of that green, or I'll basically be killed. So like this gives the team an opportunity to charge our line and try to capture it, and then push us back to the next trench. Now I've only seen like a couple games where we got pushed 2 or 3 times, and then they actually won the battle like via objective. Most of the time what happens is like one person, like when you capture a trench, you get like 1 point, and you can see down on the left hand screen like where the mini map is, there's a 2 under the axis and a 0 for les infantry or whatever, I forget what that, basically the allied group. So we lost that round, and that's what usually happens is you'll lose because the time will run out and one team will have scored. But it's really hard to like push people back totally. But you could see too, like I actually was able to have like the sniper class, and so like now when we reload into the next game, I'll have the sniper class again, and I'll be going with that. The sniper class is actually pretty hard. There's only like 1 or 2 on each team out of 16 slots. The servers are a 32 player cap, so it's like 16 on 16 with 4 squads of 4. But there's only a couple different roles, so you can see on the screen right now, like these are all the different roles in the different squads. So like you have the 139th Regiment, the 31st Regiment, the 16th, and like each of those squads has different you'll have like different weapons and different abilities depending on what class you are. But for the most part, mostly everybody is pretty much like a rifleman. Like I said, like this was the first time I ever even got to use the sniper scope, and it was really cool. It was kind of hard to use. I would like it a little bit better if it did a full screen, but I feel like that would make it too easy. And like the thing about the gameplay in this game is like it's really hard. Like it's really hard to get shots off. Like there's a lot. Like when you sight down your gun, it feels like there's a lot in your way, and like it's really hard to pinpoint down shots and hit people while they're on the run. Because like that's like the whole name of the game is like when you're defending is to try and shoot them as they come up to your trench. A lot of times it's really hard. I seen like a couple guys that were really good at it with like 40 or 50 kills a game, which I thought was pretty remarkable, considering I usually only get like 20, somewhere in the 20s, usually if I'm having a good game. But there was like a really long range shot, and so that was really cool. But other than that, like you'll be attacking, and there's like the bomber class is really cool. Like you'll get a pistol, and then you'll get a bunch of grenades and stuff, and like you can get 3 grenades with one loadout and like 5 with another, and you can just like start whipping grenades like in the trench, and like that's really fun. There is a couple automatic weapons, but like there's a couple like I guess like bipodable machine guns that you have to like mount to shoot, and like I used one the other day and like it worked out really well. I was able to use a class that had the BAR, the Browning automatic rifle, and that worked okay too, but it was like when you sighted in, it was like really hard to see what was going on. And then you can get like there's a spade and like a club and stuff, so you can run in the other trenches with like a melee weapon, but it's just you just don't really get too far because it's like one shot from the rifles and you're down. And the other people, like I really like when I'm attacking, when I get into the other trench, I really like having a class with a pistol, because I feel like that works out really well, because usually it's like two or 3 shots from the pistol will kill someone, but you have like a 7 or 8 round magazine, and that makes it a little bit nicer than charging into the trench with like a bolt action rifle where you get like one shot and then you have like 5 seconds of downtime and there's like everybody's in the trench, you know. But like the Browning, when I had like the automatic rifle, the Browning automatic rifle, it was just like really hard to like even like when you sight in, there's a lot of like obstruction in like the your viewing reticle. So like you have, you know, just the iron sights, but there's a big ring on it, and it's just like really hard to see. And when you're moving it around, it's like, you know, it's really easy to get off target in this game. So, but aside from all that, like at first I didn't think the graphics were that great, but after playing for a while, I was really convinced after seeing like more maps that, you know, the player models, the world models, and the weapon models, like they're all really good. I think I mean they're not like the best, but the game only costs like $15, so like it's really good in that aspect. I mean, yeah, you know, there's no AAA developer, but you know, it's a fun game, and it's actually like, so I recently played the Battlefield 1, and like I kind of wanted it to be like this. Like I wanted it to be like trench and like kind of a narrow field, and we're just pushing and defending. You know, you're just pushing the trench line, and I think that's what like World War One was really about. And not that I want to get too far into this, but like when I played Battlefield, like it was cool, but it was just so damn chaotic. It was like, you know, we'd have a point captured across the map, and then they have one, and like everybody's got you got points like all over the place, and everybody's just spawning around, and like, you know, I like everything I've seen of World War One was like, it wasn't really like that. Like most of the things that I've seen, and I think the majority of the war during the World War One time was trench warfare. Like this was you kind of like sitting in your trench, waiting for, you know, the enemy to attack, you know, them coming over the trench line, and then, you know, forming a counterattack and you going back, and, you know, with like a lot of artillery and gas. So like that's another thing I want to touch on too. There is gas masks and stuff in this game, and there is tear gas, and each squad has what they call like the NCO, which is the commanding officer, and you can always spawn on your commanding officer. I'm not really sure, like, the way they set spawns up is like sometimes you'll spawn on him, or sometimes you'll spawn back in the trench, or sometimes you'll spawn on another random character that's in the enemy trench. Like, it's kind of weird and you don't really set it up, but again, you know, like, this game isn't like a AAA, so like sometimes they don't give you all the options, but that's not really what the game is about. It's about like pushing the trench lines. And so what I was going to say was, like, if you play as the commanding officer, you get a couple extra abilities than just the regular soldiers. So you're able to like call in gas and set waypoints, like telling your squad and stuff like where to go. And if you're a squad mate and you're killing people like in the area that the commanding officer has said to go to, like, you'll get like bonus points and stuff like that, and you'll eventually rank up and you get more you'll get more like ability points to unlock. Like, you see, I'm going to unlock this right now, I think, or maybe not, but like basically you'll start with with the first one, and when you get more ability points, you're able to unlock different tiers under each class. So like that'll give you more options instead of being stuck with like one class in a full server. Regardless, I think the game like looks really good. I think it plays really good. I think it's like I said, like, it's a little hard to get used to the controls and actually aiming the gun. Like, it doesn't really feel like super fluid like a Battlefield game or like a Call of Duty or something, but like that's what makes it nice, is that like it makes the game difficult. So it's like it's difficult to be good. I actually have, like, just a sidebar, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually did see like a flamethrower, and you can see a trench gun. The guy has a trench gun in the screen right now, so he's like playing with the shotgun. I might actually chop this video up, so that might not be the scene that there is, but there is like shotguns and flamethrowers and automatic rifles. There's just a lot fewer of them, and like most of the game is played with, you know, like grenades, rifles, and pistols, and it's difficult, and that's what makes it fun. Like, it's hard to be good at it. Like, you know, I think that'll like keep a lot of like the like FPS riffraff out of the community of this. And I think it's fun, and it actually took me way back to when I used to play Counter-Strike and Half-Life and stuff a lot. There used to be a mod called The Trenches, and this is basically what The Trenches was, but it was like an unfinished version, and all you had was like a gunner and a grenader, or a bomber, is like how they say in this game. But it was just two lines and a no man's land, and like it was the best. Like this I don't know, I keep playing it, like I keep turning it on and playing it, and you know, like there isn't too much depth to the unlocks or anything, but like, you know, it's a really quick, easy buy. Like, it's not a $60, you know, AAA release. It's $15 on the PlayStation Network, and in my opinion, like, it's worth every penny. So basically, just to like wrap up my whole review here and conclude the video, is that like I think this game is really awesome. I think it plays really well. I think the sounds are really good. I think it's difficult, so it makes it challenging, you know, and it's just like a fun game all around. It's very easy to pick up and it's very easy to put down. And so like those are that's like something else that I always look for in a game too, is like when I turn this game on, like I don't feel like I'm making a giant commitment, or I need to play for, you know, I don't feel like I need to play for 2 or 3 hours to accomplish some laundry list of objectives. You know, you just turn it on. It's like basically arena based, first person. The maps are really good. There's like 6 or 7 different maps, and like even one of them even has like this old school like castle and stuff in it. Like, it's really cool. A lot of the maps are mixed up. So like if you're into first person shooters and you're kind of like feeling the whole World War I thing right now, especially because Battlefield's coming out, I think this is going to be a lot different than what Battlefield will be like, unless they offer like a different kind of game mode. I think if they had a game mode like this in Battlefield, I think it would be really good. But at the same time, I think Battlefield has kind of like, I feel like it's gonna kind of go away from like historically what World War I is like. Like when I played the beta, there was a lot of automatic weapons. There was just a lot of chaos. I mean, I know that was just a beta, but I guess we'll see like with the release of the full version. But to conclude this video, Verdun is really cool. It's only $15. So if you're into these kind of games and you want to check it out, I've been featuring some gameplay throughout the video. I like it. That's my opinion. I think it's great. I think it's an awesome game. I hope that they continue to work on it and maybe, release some more maps, maybe some more weapons, some more characters, some more abilities for the commanding officers. But all in all, this is a great $15 PlayStation Network buy. So I hope this video helped you out, guys, and I hope to see you in the Verdun servers. My name on the PlayStation Network is Chris P44S. If you want to play, send me an invite. My friends list is not full right now, and I would love to play Verdun with some other people. Like to actually have a full squad and a party outside in the PlayStation Network. I think that would be awesome. So yeah, I hope this helped you out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, I am playing Lords of the Fallen. If you want me to review that, I'm sure there's tons of reviews out. Just leave me a comment in the comment section. Obviously, there's probably a shitload of reviews out for Lords of the Fallen, but if anyone wants to hear my opinion, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.